What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and as I'm starting this review, we have not yet gone into penalties because, frankly, I don't care how the penalty shootout turns out because I don't give a shit. I'm disgusted with that performance. I'm disgusted with Conte, I'm disgusted with the players, I'm disgusted with everything about that performance. There are a few players that are immune from my disgust. One is Caballero because, he did about as much as he could. Espilicueta, fine. Ampadu, fine. Kennedy, I thought he worked hard. Drinkwater, I'm going to give him a pass because this is his first bad game since he started playing for us. And Willian, Batshuayi, I thought they worked their butts off. Everything else about this, I'm done. I said last game, Conte's got to make a decision. He's either got to stop playing favorites and he's got to start making decisions and getting these crap players that are not giving their all off the field, or else he's going to be pushed towards the door. Well, in this match, he made his decision. He made his decision today. He said, you know what? Screw it. Who cares if they're playing poor? I'm going to keep playing them. And look where it leads us. Look where it leads us. We are one up, plenty of time to just take it to them and punish them for even thinking they had a chance against us. But no, he leaves David Luiz on, he leaves Zappacosta on, he leaves Bakayoko on, and Drinkwater, who's playing poor. He leaves Pedro on, who's on a yellow and hasn't done anything the entire game. And guess what? They equalize. We get into extra time, and then what does he do? He puts on Hazard, who we don't need to put him on. We don't need to risk him now. I mean, obviously we'll probably need him for the penalty shootout. It's just so stupid. I can see exactly what he needs to do. I can see it. He's supposed to be the best freaking coach in the world. He can't see what the problem is. It's right in front of your eyes. Just look at the goal. Who are the two players that gave up that goal? Zappacosta misses man. David Luiz let a guy just run right by him and easily head it in. Those two should have no business being on the field. Zappacosta should have been done. He has done nothing the entire game. David Luiz should have been off at halftime. He was terrible again. He's done nothing for us since he's come back from injury. Even before that, he was playing pretty bad. But no. We'll take Ampadu, the hard-working teenager, the one that was working really hard and doing pretty well. We'll take him off and then put Christensen out there in not his position and leave David Luiz at the center of our defense because we're stupid. So, yeah, I don't even need to watch the penalties because, frankly, it doesn't matter if we win these penalty kicks or not. It doesn't matter. This game was awful. Our performance was terrible today. We were at home against Norwich City. That should be a win. That should be a win any day of the week. But Conte's made his decision. He's decided he doesn't care. He's going to leave players out there that aren't giving their all, that aren't playing well, that are giving the ball away, dribbling into pressure. A player who dove and got a yellow, leave him out there, he'll get sent off. All these stupid decisions from him. So first, let's talk about the referees, because obviously with all the red cards going on, there is a lot of controversy surrounding the referees. Pedro's yellow, obvious dive. Clear, obvious. I knew as soon as he went down, I knew it was a dive, even in real time. Williams, not a dive. Should not have been a yellow. Poor call. The VAR should come back and say, okay, it's not a penalty. It's not enough for a penalty, but it's not a dive. Take away the yellow. But no, he's just like, I'm keeping the yellow. You get a yellow because you clipped your foot, but then you went down too easily. Murata's, same thing. There's contact. He's on his shoulder. He throws himself to the ground, yes, but there's contact. That's not enough for a yellow, but no, because he's got to stick up his butt about Chelsea today. Yellow card for Murata, and then of course Murata loses his head because he's a moron, and then gets himself a second yellow to get sent off because that's exactly what we need. We need a player to get sent off right now. All I can hope is that Batshuayi takes this chance because Murata gave us nothing today when he came on. Where Batshuayi wasn't great, he worked hard. That is something that Murata did not bring to the field today. So, I'm sorry, I'm getting into individual performances before I'm ready. Aside from that, though, just all these little niggly fouls that he's calling one way for them but not for us. I just thought the referee was very one-sided today. Like, he seemed like he got into that kind of emotional state where he saw Pedro's dive, and then he gets way too emotional about it and thinks, oh, now I need to be watching the rest of these players. And so Willian goes down from a little touch, and he's like, oh, that's a dive too! And just gets really, one-sided, very focused on, oh, I need to make sure I watch for any possible dives. And it's one of those things where sometimes the contact doesn't have to be a heavy contact. Sometimes it can be a little contact that puts you off enough to put you off balance, or, the little pullback. That can be enough to disrupt your run, but he's not calling any of that for us. And so whenever it goes down the other side of the field and he's calling these little, they fall over too easily and he calls that, it's kind of like, wow, really? Oh, nice save for Caballero. I need to talk about him. So yeah, let's go to Caballero. Obviously just made the first penalty save. Very, very impressive. Today I thought he did well. He's not our first string goalkeeper. He's not in that often. And so to not play a whole lot and then come in and make some really good saves. The only moment that I noticed was when Azpilicueta went to head the ball away. I don't know if he called it or not. Maybe he didn't call it confidently enough. But that was one of those moments where you're not really sure if it's the defender's fault or if it's the keeper's fault. But yeah, played very well aside from that today. And who knows how he's going to finish up in the penalty kick shoot. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Then into defense, like I said, Ampadu, I thought played well, especially for being a teenager. He's really stepping up and he shows a lot of maturity for his age. And I just think he's a better version of David Luiz. I thought it should have been Ampadu in over David Luiz and then Christensen in the middle. I thought that would have been our best lineup. But for some reason, Conte loves David Luiz, so keep playing him. We're going to keep playing him. Let's just keep playing him, even though he's doing nothing for us. So, yeah, that was, as far as Ampadu is concerned, I think that was another good performance from him to show that he does deserve to at least get a few chances here and there. Because he's showing he's got the quality for it. So, in the middle, David Luiz, like I said, he's terrible. Just absolutely, absolutely terrible. Doesn't deserve to start, doesn't deserve to play. We need to sell him again. He's back to that same old flying in style, very dangerous defender, taken out of position, leaving players wide open because he's not tracking players, gets pulled out of the middle and then jogs back to defend. I mean, God, it's just so bad. And nothing's changing. He is still exactly the same game after game that I see him. So I don't think he deserves to be anywhere near the starting lineup. Azpilicueta on the left side, a little bit different seeing him on the other side, but I thought he did well. Especially, it was kind of weird because I would expect to see him on the side with Zappacosta because Zappacosta's not the best defender. You need your better defender over there. Kennedy, not exactly a great defender, but he works hard and has a lot of speed. So I thought it would have worked better to have Kennedy on Ampadu's side, Zappacosta on Azpilicueta's side. But for whatever reason, he had him on the left side today. And, defensively looked very good. His passing was pretty good today. I think the passing today overall, mainly the big problem was lack of movement again, like we've seen in some of the other games. So, but yeah, defensively, Ampadu, Azpilicueta, they both did well. And then David Luiz was just total trash. Kennedy on the left side, like I said, he worked very hard today. Just a lot of running up and down the line. Very, very solid overall. Not the best. I still think he lacks a little something that we need to bring in another left wing back because Alonso also lacks a little something. So, very nice Conte. Just that little lack of quality on the left side that both Alonso and Kennedy are missing. For Alonso, it's the work rate defensively and it's the speed that he lacks. For Kennedy, it's the mentality, I guess. He's still young, and that one challenge where he went down and he hit the guy on the side of the face. Thank goodness he didn't get sent off for that. But it's that little thing. There's a little bit too much of a naivete with him whenever he plays, and you can really see it. Just flying into challenges that he has no right to, diving in and then letting players get by him. Just stuff like that. It can get a little bit, frustrating to watch. So I feel like we need another left wing back to really take that spot and make it their own. And then on the right side, Zappacosta, like I said, just not good enough overall. Not enough quality, no defensive work rate whatsoever. Let guys just get past him time and time again. My goodness. For a right wing back is part of that. And just completely forgets the defensive side of his game. And we just won on penalties, by the way. So, yeah, we're through the next round of the FA Cup, but God, we did not deserve it today. Um, but yeah, so not enough from Zappacosta. I thought he should have been one of the first ones off. Either bring on Sterling or move Pedro over there or something. Just we needed something different on that side. Something else that was going to help us not only defensively but also give us a bit more energy on that side because he just was not bringing it today. But Conte loves Zappacosta, so there's your problem. In the middle, Bakayoko and Drinkwater, both of them just not a good game from either of them today. Bakayoko actually started off well, very strong, physical, moving the ball very well, and then just like his season this year, faded out. Slowly faded, and then by the end of the game, he just was not involved at all. So I don't know what's going on with him. He lacks energy. He gets very lazy. His touch gets lazy. His passing gets lazy. And I get really frustrated watching that. Whenever we've got Conte in there and he's just running around, I love watching that. And then you put Bakayoko in there and it's just like jogging. And it's just nothing coming out of him. So, and then Drinkwater just had an off game today. His passing was poor, dribbled too much, and gave it away too many times for me. So, not good in the midfield, and that's really where we hurt today. Yes, we did well in the first half, and they did well in the first half, and that's why the first half for us mainly looked good. But once they started fading out, Bakayoko faded away, Drinkwater started giving the ball away, that's when we started having our problems, and that's when they started taking it to us. So we really need to look at our midfield, because you take out Conte, you take out Fabregas, what have you got? Drinkwater, Bakayoko, and who's the other one? Why am I forgetting who it is now? No, that's it, isn't it? Yeah. I thought we had another one for some reason. But I mean, both of them just, if they're having an off game, it's an off day for us. So we really need to look at trying to get some midfielders in that are going to be consistent, not have these fading in and out of games because we can't have that at the top level. And then for the front three, Pedro, Willian, and Batshuayi. Pedro, like I said, just terrible today. Just selfish, dribbling into pressure, terrible balls, dives trying to get a penalty, gets a yellow for it, and then dives in late in the game in extra time of all places, gets a second yellow. He should have been off. One of the first subs that should have happened should have been Musonda on or Hazard on for Pedro. He should have been off, especially after that yellow in the first half. But no. Keep him on, and then he gets sent off. Stupid. Willian worked his butt off today. Man of the match for me, by far. Okay, Caballero with the penalty save definitely gets a second. Very close second to that. But I mean, just as far as the open play is concerned, Willian definitely gave it his all. He worked hard. He tried as much as he could. And I hate it for him because he just didn't have the help today that he needed. Batshuayi wasn't having a great game. Pedro was terrible today. So he just didn't have enough help for all of the hard work he put in. And I hate that for him. Because he's been working his butt off this entire year. But nobody's giving him the help. So, and then Batshuayi didn't have a good game today. Decent finish. But the one thing that I will say about him, like I was saying earlier, is he works hard. And that's, I think, the biggest example I can give of that is there are a couple times where challenges come in and he loses the ball. There's so much of a difference between him and Murata. When Batshuayi loses the ball, he will either try to win it back or commit a foul. He'll do something. Murata loses the ball, nothing. Absolutely nothing from him. He just shuts off entirely. He'll dive looking for the foul. He'll just throw his arms up in the air and start walking. Gives us nothing whenever he loses the ball. That is the big difference for me. And that is why I'm currently pro Batman and not Murata right now. Yes, Murata still has a lot of talent, still has the potential to be one of the best strikers in the world, don't get me wrong. But right now, he's not showing it. He's not giving us enough effort. He's not doing enough to try to win us the game. He just wants to dive. He wants every call. He wants every single time he gets touched. Referee, he touched me. It's like I'm watching, Ronaldo play or Neymar play. This is not La Liga. This is the Premier League. Grow up, get some big boy panties, put them on, and play. You're going to get touched. You're going to get pushed. You're going to get shoved. You're going to get pulled. It happens. That's what it's like in England. Get used to it. Start playing. Because I'm not seeing enough out of you. And when Batman's out there working as hard as he can, he may lose the ball a few times, but you know what? He's going to commit a foul at the end of it at least. I'll take that. I'll take that over just throwing your arms up in the air or looking for a foul. Because that gives us nothing. So I know a lot of Chelsea fans are probably going to, not necessarily rip into Batshuayi, but probably criticize him again for another pretty poor performance overall. But I think look at the difference between the two of them whenever they give up the ball. Because both of them give away the ball several times. It's going to happen. But you look at the difference in their reactions to it. Batman gives us so much more after that. Murata gives us nothing. So, onto the subs. Christensen and Murata were the first two on. Like I said, Murata gave us nothing and then loses his head. Stupid. Honestly, the only bright side out of this is the fact that he's not going to be available for next game against Brighton, which means Batman now has a chance to step up, and do something about it. Hopefully he takes his chance because we need him to. We need him to step up in these moments. Christensen, though, came on, played well. I think it would have been much better to take David Luiz off. That was the only problem for me. And then the last sub was Conte came on for Kennedy. At the time, I know he was feeling his hamstring a little bit, but I think Zappacosta would have been the better sub there. Even with Kennedy feeling his hamstring, I think Zappacosta was giving us less. So, I don't know. I don't understand Conte's rationale at all, if there is any rationale, or if he's just playing favorites. But yeah, Conte comes on and gives his all, and then Hazard came on and, he tried, but frankly, I think he needs more time to get integrated into a game, especially when it's a late game. It's probably cold. That sucks coming off the bench after all of that, sitting around for over 90 minutes. In fact, it may have been... Did he come on in the first half of extra time? I think he did. Too much time on the bench and coming off a little bit cold. Frankly, I'm just glad he made the final PK to win it, because even that can be a little bit rusty whenever you're coming off the bench after sitting for so long. So, yeah, I'm not happy. I've not been happy since we've had all these draws in a row, but this is technically another draw. So this is 5 draws in a row. 3 of those have been at home. And it's not getting any better. The changes are not making our team any better. The players that are problem players are still continuing to play. Your Bakayokos, your David Luizes, your Muratas, your Pedros, your Zappacostas. Those players are giving you nothing, and they're the ones that are playing the entire game, unless they get themselves sent off because they're idiots. That's not right. I said it in the weekend. Bakayoko didn't deserve to play the full 90. Murata did not deserve to play the full 90, and they both did. They're your 2 problem players. They're 2 of your problem players on the field, and you let them play the entire game. How does that make sense? You took off Fabregas and Hazard, even though they were 2 of your best players. How does that make sense? So, I just feel like Conte's losing his mind. I don't know if it's because he's trying to make a point, because, I've heard about all this friction at the club, between him and the board. And yes, I do think he deserves to have a little bit of a hand in our transfer window. I am kind of pissed that they're not giving him the players that he wants, because I think he's a great coach. But that doesn't mean you screw us over by not making certain changes and keeping players out there that are not doing the job. That kills us. It kills our morale, it kills our momentum, and we've gotten 5 draws in a row. So, Brighton at home in the weekend, I believe, you got to win that. It can't be another draw for sure. Liverpool have overtaken us in goal difference. Man U's overtaken us by 2 points now. Man City finally lost a game, and guess what? We had a chance to go 3 points back on them, and we only went 1. So we can't draw again. If we do draw again, questions need to be asked. Whether it's give Conte what he wants, if this is him trying to lash out or something, which if it is, how childish are you that you're going to draw games because you're not getting what you want? You're going to put players out there who don't deserve it because you're not getting what you want. But yeah, I tweeted my first Conte out tweet of this year. Will it be the last? I hope so. I hope I'm not going to start the Conte. Well, I'm not going to start it, but I hope I'm not going to start getting into this whole like Conte out phase like I was with Mourinho when he started just losing his mind. But my God, you need to make some changes, Conte. You need to do something different because it's not been good enough. This today was awful. I would say it's probably our worst performance to date, but frankly, I think the what game is that? The West Ham game. I thought that was a lot worse. So we didn't lose, yes, but God, we got to do something else. We've got to figure out something else. We got to make changes that affect the team in a positive way. Don't just throw players out there because, oh, well, we need to get this player out there, so we'll just take off that guy because he's in his position. No, think about, okay, how's this person playing? What position does he play in? You got to think about your changes, not just throw them out there. So anyway, that's it for me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on today's game? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Chelsea reviews. I'll see you guys in the next game. Peace out.